Give it up for Ian Aber, everybody.
Being gay and comedy kind of go hand in hand in the sense that as a gay person, you're bullied and sort of the butt of the joke, and being funny makes you in control of the joke. Like, humor's always been a defense mechanism for me, and then just it's sort of become natural to my personality to always look at things from kind of a humorous perspective, you know? I originally lived in South Carolina, part of elementary school, middle school, and high school back in the 80s and 90s. And I am back in South Carolina this weekend for the Comedy Festival in Columbia, and I'll be performing tonight. So it's kind of like a sort of a homecoming in ways. Columbia has an amazing small comedy scene of a lot of really dedicated comics who are producing great shows and obviously producing the festival. John Gibson, Jen Snyder. It's our second year, so it's just growing. They brought in some amazing headliners, Dave Stone, Derek Sheen, Kyle Kinane, who's huge. And then they really feature the best of what's happening regionally. Somebody you see here could be, in 5 years, the next big person, you know?
I don't care how hot a guy is. If he writes his name with blood on my car, I will always find that romantic.
I've always wanted to do comedy. I've always been told I was funny or got in trouble for misbehaving and drawing away attention, drawing focus, as I was told by teachers. And I actually, the first time I ever performed comedy was in Surfside Beach at the Holiday Inn. They used to have a talent contest. And I did the talent contest and I did pretty good. And that's probably where it started. And she sits down next to me anyways, and immediately she goes, "Hi, my name's Ginger. Like the spice?" I didn't start comedy until I was 38. So like as an adult, I waited a very long time. Sadly, I had a kind of a crippling fear of straight people, which can be debilitating considering how many there are. But I decided at 38 I would try stand-up comedy, and I did comedy in front of a room full of straight people and nobody killed me, so I decided to try it again. After about 6 years, some of the feedback I've gotten nationally and just the way I'm getting booked and just kind of like the trajectory of a comedy career, it looks like I may have a chance at actually being a professional. So I left my professional job. I worked in the financial sector for 16 years, and I left that job, and I'm trying to just kind of make ends meet. I'm a big fan of comic books in general, so a lot of lightning, like a lot of superheroes get their powers by being struck by lightning. Every time you see me, I'll be wearing some shirt with a lightning bolt on it. I have, at this point, probably 100, you know. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I produce several monthly and a couple weekly shows, and I work with Laughing Skull Lounge. I help them produce some satellite shows. I do some ghost writing, I do comedy writing. And that's basically it right now. Like, a lot of gig type of work. With stand-up, it takes you a while to kind of learn how to write in your voice, and it's very similar for like screenwriting and script writing. The ones I've written so far, I wouldn't show them to anybody. So I'm just kind of continuing to work on that to produce better and better. You know, each one gets a little bit better along the way. So if you're looking at who is becoming the new famous comedians, like the classes of comedians kind of coming up and being booked, you're seeing way more queer faces, you're seeing way more people of color. And it's not like an attack on, like, you know, the old comedy of the white straight man. It's that everybody has a room at the table and everybody has this amazing comedic voice. And what I'm finding is that what I thought was gonna be straight audiences who would find me completely unrelatable being gay, actually really wanting to understand my point of view and being able to really kind of like connect with straight people in a way that I never thought was possible, you know? One of the things that's great about comedy is you get a lot of opportunities to work with big name comedians. And sometimes big name comedians means that every person knows who they are. Like, I've had the opportunity to open for Margaret Cho, which I feel like is everyone knows who she is. I recently got to work with one of my idols, Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall, who's famous for doing the gay, really politically active character Buddy Cole. Fortune Famester is probably about a household name now. James Adomian, same thing. They're getting there. Atlanta is one of those places where people are constantly coming through, so you're always having those opportunities. I think the style of comedy that I do is, I'm gay, but I'm also like married. I've been married for 19 years. We've integrated our families, everybody knows each other. So in some senses, to a straight person, I may be completely foreign. Like I've definitely had people come up to me and be like, "You're the first gay person I've ever met," which is terrifying, right? I mean, what? But that person also then finds me very relatable because I am, I'm just gay. That's all that's really different. The rest of my life is very similar. But as far as I guess the idea of what people see as my comedy, I try to keep it intelligent and fun, but also everyone's invited to the party, So there's nobody who ideologically I'm going to be like, no, you can't enjoy any of this. As a matter of fact, I'd prefer some people who don't agree with me in the hopes that by the end of the show they may change their mind a little bit, or at least see what the other side has to offer, you know what I mean, in a human way,
It's weird too, because if you really think about it, cake is just gay bread. One day a loaf of bread was like, I can be sweeter. Cover me with what? Oh my God, do it. I didn't see you there. That's my time. Thank you very much.